Good evening and welcome back to the Rory Talks Football YouTube channel. It is a Monday and I don't know about you, but I have been surrounded by Chelsea tears all day. Lots of it. Arsenal beat Chelsea yesterday. Absolutely sensational. We'll be speaking about that. Arteta's done his press conference. We've got a bit of injury news going into the next game. The thing is, it's one of those again. We're back to midweek football. It is literally talk about the result yesterday and you're straight into looking ahead to the Brighton game midweek. But vibes are good, and I hope you're all doing well on this Monday. Cheyenne is here, Vivi Vladi, Mili, yo, hyper protagonist, Ethan Udall, I love Max Dowman, Philip Jakobsen, Icarus, Saka is God, Gabriel, Spammer, Oslo Guna, Braden, so many regulars, Pigeonhead's here. You'll love to see it. Why does Arsenal hate us? All we want to do is love our team, and they keep trying to stress kill us. Honestly, that yeah, from my angle in the ground, I had no idea João Pedro was offside. And yeah, I was ready to absolutely lose it at the end of that game yesterday, but it didn't matter. Look, before we get into the rest of the stream, if I could please ask you to subscribe if you're not already subscribed. We're on the way now to 40,000 subscribers. Unbelievable. The rate of growth on the channel at the moment. Absolutely loving it. The community we're building is amazing. If you could like the stream as well, I'd be very, very grateful. And yeah, that's about it. That's all I'm asking you to do. Like and subscribe. Pretty simple stuff. There you go. I wasn't late. I was not late. People said I was late. Back post vid when? You'll be able to watch the back post basically straight after this, I think. It may be 6 o'clock by the time it comes out, but the full podcast will be out on all the audio platforms this evening, and the specific bit about Arsenal and Chelsea will be out on the YouTube video. Yeah, basically once this stream is over. So you can go and check that out. Back post is linked down below. What else is linked down below? The Discord. If you ever want to continue the Arsenal conversation, chat to people about Arsenal down in the Discord, that's down there. And what else have I got to promo? Oh, we're doing a watch along on the back post for the Brighton game. So Wednesday, we will be live on the Back Post YouTube channel. Me, Seb, Tobes. It's Arsenal versus Brighton. It's Villa versus Chelsea. It's Forest versus City. It's all kicking off. So we will be there for that. How did Tobes take the loss? Not well. I'll be honest with you. I actually think, I'm not doing well to promo the video here. I think the Arsenal-Chelsea section of the podcast was not great, to be honest, because Tobes was just banging on about referees. So yeah, try not to get rage baited basically by that. But yeah, it's listen, the thing that I keep hearing from Chelsea fans, right? And we've heard it now 4 times this season. 4 times this season, I've heard Chelsea fans saying, "Oh, but Arsenal aren't even that good. Oh, but if we had a full strength team and we played our best, we'd beat them. They're not even that good. You've not beaten us in 11 games. If we're not that good, what are you? You know, it's embarrassing. It's absolutely embarrassing." Did Seb get off easy? No, we did an entire section about Spurs. Don't you worry. We did an entire section about Spurs and Igor Tudor. Seb, the thing is, I am genuinely at the point where I feel sorry for Seb. Like, he's just miserable. He's just miserable. How was the pint that I bought you? Actually, Tom, I had an Oasis and a bottle of water. Thank you very much. Health is wealth in 2026. No, I felt I was just really needed something refreshing. But thank you very much for that, Tom. I did appreciate it. The people hating on Arsenal for how the game is played in the league, how is it Arsenal's fault that they choose to play like that? Well, this is the thing. Once again, I implore people, look at our games in the Champions League. Look at the difference when we play against European teams that don't just want to ruin the game. It's night and day. Wade, thank you very, very much for the $2 super chat. Channel is growing quickly. Love to see it, Rory. Come on, you Gunners. Yeah, the channel this is the healthiest the channel has ever been by a long, long way. And I am incredibly grateful, honestly. It's so motivating as well. So I do appreciate that. Stop spoiling the pod. Sorry, I won't spoil the pod anymore. It's so bad that Ornstein had to put out an article clarifying about the relegation clauses. That is a real, reality check for Spurs fans. The fact that Ornstein's putting out an article being like, if you do go down, don't worry, all of your players are going to get like a 50% pay cut. Also kind of crazy that they had that in those contracts. Like, I'm pretty sure Arsenal contracts don't have a relegation clause. It's so like just not in the realms of possibility. I don't even think they have them. You need to ban rivals of this channel. Look at them ruining the chat. I can't even see anyone else in the chat ruining it, to be honest with you. I can't even see it. Shaved my beard today and my missus is mad at me, so give me some good news. I'll try and give you some good news, Ross. I'll try and give you some good news. I'm baffled how Chelsea are going mental about the ref yesterday. Was nothing special yesterday. But I've said this, right? I've said this. Every game now that Arsenal play in, the most minor refereeing incidents are being blown up to a massive scale. It's insane. I've never seen anything like it. And it's especially ironic given when Arsenal had genuinely insane decisions going against us and we would talk about them, it was always the same response. Don't blame the refs. You can't blame the refs for not winning. You've got to take it out of the referee's control. Bad decisions go against everyone. Yada, yada, yada. They are worse than we ever were. It is actually mad. It is mad. Axio, thank you very, very much for the 100 Swedish krona. Good evening, Rory. Make sure you buy yourself a pint with this and keep it up. I will indeed. I will indeed. Do you know what that will go towards? That will actually go towards the food that I eat on the watch along on Wednesday. We'll have a little mukbang. But thank you very, very much for that, Axio. I do really appreciate that. How's Rossinia been in the job 2 months? And I don't know if you added to that. Oh, here you go. And been pumped 3 times by Arsenal. Yeah, I saw a crazy stat, right? I saw it. So Mikel Arteta has beaten Liam Rossinia 3 times. Every Chelsea manager since Arteta took over at Arsenal combined have beaten Arteta twice. That is crazy. That is crazy. Oh my God, Tomiyasu mentioned in the chat, game is back. Icarus is holding on to anything. Who even mentioned Tomiyasu in the chat? Rossinia is a PR merchant. He is. Do you actually want to see Spurs go down, or would you miss the North London derby and rivalry? You can see both arguments. I'd like to see them go down for a year. I would like to see them for 1 year. It would be hilarious. I would forego 2 North London derbies for a year of bantering them about being in the Championship. It would be so funny. But they'd be in they'd have to be in one of the earlier rounds of the FA Cup. Like they'd be playing Johnston's Paint Trophy or whatever they call it these days. It would be an absolute. Oh, it'd be hilarious. It would be hilarious. Waneri game yesterday. Yeah, Waneri actually played a little bit yesterday. Came off the bench against Leon. Big game. And he assisted the winner for Aubameyang. It was a good assist as well. So hopefully that's a little bit of a green shoot for Waneri at Marseille because it was not going well. But yeah, hopefully that is a good stepping stone at least. LinkedIn Liam made a switch halves at kickoff. Yeah. What was that all about? But also, I just can't believe the amount of stuff coming out today. I mean, did you see the conspiracy theory that Neto hadn't seen the yellow card? Can you imagine? Can you just imagine for a second that Arsenal fans invented some conspiracy that one of our players didn't realise they were on a yellow, and so it was unfair that they got a second yellow? And then it turned out, I was watching Match of the Day, very, very clearly the referee gives the yellow card to Pedro Neto, and Pedro Neto complains about it as he's being given the yellow. Can you imagine? It's absolute madness. And the amount of people that buy into that, non-Chelsea fans that buy into it, it's crazy. What happened at kickoff? They just made us switch sides. And then you had the flipping punch. Raya punching João Pedro in the head when he literally just punches the ball and cleans everything out, which you're entitled to do. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. That was nuts. There was footage shown on Sky literally 20 minutes after the game with him getting the yellow. Yeah, it's madness. Absolute madness. Axio, thank you very, very much for the 50 Swedish krona. Swedish krona. Excuse me. What do you think about the Waneri loan? Should he be recalled with De Zerbi going and with all of the injuries we're getting? Well, firstly, we can't recall him. There was no clause in the contract that means that we can recall him. So it's not an option. Secondly, look, this is still a big learning experience for him. He does need to start playing more. It looks like he might start being given the chance more now. You know, he came off the bench yesterday. Marseille had a big win over Lyon. He got an assist. So, yeah, I think, look, obviously it's not gone to plan. Like, obviously, the plan was De Zerbi to be there, Waneri to play a lot of minutes. The plan was for them to still be in the Champions League, which they bottled. So, yeah, there was a lot that went wrong very early on. Mikel Merino immediately gets injured. Odegaard's been injured for most of the time since then. Like that, it's not gone to plan, but it could still work out. We can't recall him from the loan anyway, so it is what it is. But I appreciate the 50 Swedish krona. There's literally videos of Neto arguing with James about the yellow card when it happened. Yeah, it's madness. It's madness. Did you hear Gary Neville during the game? When Pedro was offside, when Delap scored, he said it was never off, even though he was miles off. Yeah, and even the little squeal he made. I've watched it back. Obviously, I didn't hear it at the time, but the little squeal he makes when he thinks Chelsea have equalised. Oh, God, it's unbearable. It's absolutely unbearable. Luckily, for most Arsenal games, I'm either doing a watch-along or I'm at the game, so I don't have to listen to it. But whereas the misery in his voice when Arsenal score goals is crazy. Who is the Marseille manager? I don't even know. I don't even I know who took over. I can't remember his name now, but it wasn't someone that I knew, to be honest with you. Dare I say we are missing Merino dearly. Axio, thank you for another 20 Swedish krona. Unbelievable. We are missing Merino. Mikel Merino is probably one of the most underrated players in the squad in terms of, like, when he got injured, there were some people that didn't particularly care. People were talking about selling him this summer. Merino is a leader in the squad. He's incredibly experienced. He's versatile. He calms games down. Like, we are missing him, undoubtedly. And also, you look at the fact that, and we'll talk about the potential injuries, you look at the fact that Declan Rice had to come off when he did. Zubimendi, for me, looks tired. Like, we don't have that rotation even in midfield. Mikel Merino would 100% start in midfield against Brighton in midweek. We don't have that option now. So, yeah, for sure. It's a massive shame that he had to have that surgery. I can't believe Norgard actually got some important Prem minutes yesterday. I could see him starting on Wednesday if Rice isn't fully fit. Me neither. I mean, the only annoying thing was I saw him warming up and about to come on, and I was like, oh my God, Arteta's going to take off Zubimendi for Norgard. He is learning with like 15 minutes to go. And then he took off Rice, and it turns out it's because Rice is potentially injured. And I'm like, okay, so Arteta was kind of forced to do it. Like, Arteta has come out and said Rice asked to come off. I'm like, if Rice hadn't asked to come off, was he going to bring Norgard on? And I'm not convinced he was. Axio, thank you for another 20 Swedish krona. Unbelievable. Habib Bey is the Marseille manager. Yeah, I don't know that guy. I don't know that guy. Who is Habib Bey? Habib Bey. He's got glasses. He's Senegalese, 48 years old, and previously managed at Red Star. So he did 3 years at Red Star. Then he did just over a year at Rennes, and now he's at Marseille. So there you go. Who the fuck is that guy? Norgard is quite good defensively and progressing the ball. Yeah, I mean, look, I had issues with the way that we, at the end of the game yesterday, gave up all control. And I thought we were poor. And maybe that's to do with Norgard. Maybe it's I thought Zubimendi was knackered. The worst moment for me, and I know for a fact, Arteta will be livid. Like, he won't be livid because we won the game in the end, but like, he will definitely pull them up on it. When we went long on that free kick in the 92nd minute, right? We're against 10 men, and between Havertz and Martinelli, they somehow lost the ball twice, and then we got countered, and they very nearly scored Garnacho's cross that Raya had to save. I mean, Raya was going mental. That is just like so poor from us, from the level that we were at earlier in the season, where late on in games, if we were only 1-0 up or like a 1 goal up, you just wouldn't even feel that worried. Now it's like absolute stress. Absolute stress. How was Max Dowman in the under-21 game? I heard Salmon got sent off. Yeah, Salmon got sent off. Max Dowman, I'll be honest with you, looks like he's grown. I watched the highlights. Max Dowman played the first 45 minutes. He looks significantly taller than he did previously. And that does always worry me a little bit. Like, you have these players that look amazing at 15, but then have a growth spurt and they're a completely different stature. And it's like, do they lose the things that made them as good as they were? I'm hoping not, but yeah, it was interesting. Zach, thank you very, very much for the $3. You see the Rory Jennings reaction. He lost it. Yeah, Chelsea fans lost it more than normal. Or are you talking about the reaction to the goal? I haven't seen his reaction to their disallowed goal. But yeah, Chelsea fans seemed more angry than normal. And I'm like, what? Why are you angry? This is normal for you. You get beaten by Arsenal. That's what you do. So I don't know why they're more angry about this time. But there you go. Axio with another 100 Swedish krona. Axio, thank you very much. Another pint for you, mate. I don't know what I would do without the post-match reactions. Well, again, I massively, massively appreciate it. And I will take the pint. Absolutely. Thank you very much. Did you see Rossinia actually take credit of his tactic by keeping 3 players up at halftime in a cup game? And that's why Arsenal had to change tactics for their corners. Yeah, well, we scored 2 corners. So hold that. Hold that. He's a muppet. I think Rossinia is an absolute muppet, to be honest with you. Loritz or Jensen? I'll just call you Jensen. Jensen, thank you very, very much for the 20 Danish kroner. Who will win the EFL Cup final? Well, I've got to say Arsenal. So that'd be mental if I sat here and said, yeah, City are going to win it. Look, it's a massive game, that cup final. Obviously, they've got Real Madrid in the midweek before it, which benefits us. But no, it's a huge game, and I think it will be I think it will have a mental impact on, like a psychological impact on the rest of the season for sure. It's going to be huge. Scandinavian fans in the chat, mad generous. You love to see it. I love the Scandinavians, not just because they give super chats, but Scandinavians are such nice people, such friendly people. That's why I love going to Norway. Yeah, Norway, Scandinavia, but I love it. Devin, thank you very, very much for being a member for 23 months. I hope my membership gets you food for all the pints Axio is making you buy. Listen, we're going to have a mukbang. We're going to have pints. It's going to be a great time. But Devin, 23 months is absolutely crazy. 1 month away from the 2-year anniversary. I do appreciate that. I did see the Matisse's reaction to the red card. That was brilliant. I was like belly laughing when Pedro Neto got sent off in the stadium. It was so funny because it was so obvious it was going to happen. As soon as he was up 1-on-1 against Martinelli, I was like, bring him down, bring him down, bring him down. And then he brings him down. You're like, you are an idiot. You're such an idiot. Are you live streaming FIFA this week? Yes. For those of you who didn't see, we are now doing FIFA live streams on this channel in the evenings. Late night FIFA. We're just doing an old school Arsenal road to glory. We are just going to play here and there when I can on stream and try and build the best Arsenal team on FIFA that we can. So we started it on Saturday night and we'll be live tonight. So normally I'll go live between about 10:15, 10:30. If there are evening kickoffs in the football a little bit later, we'll stream for an hour and a half until about midnight. And yeah, that'll be fun. Ethan grew another inch and gained like 7 kg according to the Marseille website. Yeah, he grew too, massively. Anyway, look, we're 20 minutes in and I need to get on to... here I am. We need to get on to the get on to the news. So this came from Mikel Arteta's press conference. Let me zoom that in a bit more for you. Spoke about the manner of today's win. He said, I'm trying to stay calm, but obviously we weren't getting the dominance and sequences of play that we wanted and expected against 10 men. So you have to navigate through that, and it's a big part of the game. When you see the manner in which other teams are winning games, everybody's suffering. The manner and the margins are so small, so it's good. So basically there, he's saying, yeah, I was not happy with the way that we controlled the final 20 minutes of the game against 10 men, but we suffered and we got through it, which is a good sign. So, yeah, no doubt he will pull them up on that, though, because it was poor. This is the big one. Any fitness problems ahead of Wednesday? He said, I don't know. Declan has to be substituted, and I think he since said he asked to be substituted. And so we're going to have to check him and see if he's available for Wednesday, unfortunately, and the rest hopefully okay, but we don't know. So, yeah, it's worrying about Declan. If that's muscular, even if that's only a couple of weeks, like, I mean, when's the Carabao Cup final? When's the Carabao Cup final? The problem is the games come so quickly now. If that's like, even if that is like a 3-weeker, a 2 to 3 weeker, right? At that point, you're talking about Brighton, Mansfield, Leverkusen, Everton, Leverkusen, potentially Man City. You know, that's 3 weeks takes you to the Man City Cup final. That's worrying if it is muscular. Now, hopefully it's not. There has been a couple of things on Twitter this afternoon from in the nose. None of the like major in the nose, credible in the nose, not Hand of Arsenal or anything like that. So we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, this is the tightrope that you're walking now. And again, Declan Rice right now is probably the most crucial player in terms of an injury to him. We're in trouble because you got no Mikel Merino. Zubimendi also looks absolutely knackered, and then you've got Norgard, and that's basically it. So, yeah, it's look, hope for the best. Hopefully, it was just fatigue. Hopefully, he was cramping. He's had that a couple of times this season. That is what I would hold on to. He's had a couple of games this season where he's gone down either holding his calf, or actually, I think twice he went down holding his calf in games this season late on. And you thought, oh, no, he's tweaked his calf. And it turned out it was just cramping. So I'm hoping that's the case again. I do still think there's another element to that you've got to look at where you go, Declan Rice is cramping after 70-odd minutes, or maybe, early 80 minutes. That's a concern too. After a whole week off to be cramping after 80 minutes, that's a bit of a concern. But yeah, hopefully, even if he's not available for Brighton, you then don't have to play against Mansfield. That gives him 10 days off effectively until Leverkusen. We could do with him against Brighton, but you got to focus on the other games as well. Oliver, thank you very, very much for the 99 cents. No message with it. Just 99 cents. I appreciate that, Oliver. Thank you very, very much. These late night FIFA streams are my favorite, considering I'm from the US. You love to see it. I'd love to see Miles in midfield against Mansfield. I think we will. I think it's almost guaranteed we see Miles in midfield against Mansfield because we've now got Calafiori, who we actually need to give minutes to at left back because of how much Hincapié is playing. So you're going to play Calafiori left back, I think, and Miles in midfield. I think that would happen. Is this the Brighton preview? No, but possibly yes, because there might not be a stream tomorrow. I've got to go to Manchester for a shoot, and I don't know what time I'm going to be back. So, yes and no. The thing is, Arteta's got to speak again tomorrow, so we don't have anything sort of straight hot off the press, if that makes sense. On maintaining a consistent 11, he said, we haven't done it. We're going to have to make changes and give opportunities to everyone to be fresh. Now, the one thing that he didn't mention here, obviously he talks about Rice. He then says the rest are hopefully okay. Now, does that mean the rest of the players that played the game or everyone else? Because that's two very different things, right? Actually, he spoke about Raya suffering an injury. Remember, Raya went down. He said, I don't know what happened in that action. He's had some minor things this week, so I don't know if that's related to that, but overall, very happy. So that was because he had been asked about Raya's performance, which was obviously a fantastic performance. But yeah, ultimately, I am worried about Odegaard. He's not mentioned him here. Ben White, I think, will be fine. Odegaard, it's becoming a problem where he's here, then he's not here, then he's maybe back, and then he's not back, and then I don't really understand the most recent one because he was out and then he came back for the Spurs game and then he's out again. And it's like, if that's all, and according to Arteta, that is all to do with the injury he got against Brentford, right? Surely that is either an injury or it's not. This is the thing that I don't understand. If he had ligament damage again, like an MCL, he wouldn't have come back for the Spurs game. You know, like if there had been anything show up on a scan, he wouldn't have come back for the Spurs game. But then he's out again for the Chelsea game a week later. I don't really know what's going on, but it's worrying because we've not had him for any sustained period this season. And again, truthfully, against Chelsea, Eze didn't look great. I think we're going to have to go back to, once we can, Havertz in midfield, Gyökeres up front. I think Havertz 10, Gyökeres up top is going to be the thing. Odegaard knee injury aggravated? Maybe, but I didn't see anything against Spurs that looked like he did it again or hurt himself again. D Sims, thank you very, very much for the 199. Did you clown the short Chelsea fan on the pod? Oh, you can't be calling Tobes the short Chelsea fan. You can't. Yeah, did I clown him? Not massive, like to an extent, but honestly, he was just whinging about the refs. You can watch it later. You can clown him yourselves. But yeah, I appreciate the 199. And Alex, thank you very, very much for becoming a new member of the channel. That is absolutely sensational from Alex. As always, all of the membership money, it goes back into the channel. It allows me to keep doing this. I'm incredibly grateful for it. And you now have access to exclusive emotes and a little cannon next to your name. Arteta needs to stage a collapse for the trophy lift in 3 weeks to make sure no players leave on international duty. Sorry, he needs to stage a stage collapse for the trophy lift. What? Rig it so that they all fall over on the stage? Yeah, I mean, I would be holding as many players back as possible. That's just the truth. And the reality is, right, we've got players that don't really need to prove themselves ahead of the World Cup. Like this final international break before there are warm-up games for the World Cup at the end of the season, but this is the final international break before countries will pick their squads. Like most of our players aren't fringe players for their nations, right? You look through it, David Raya doesn't really get used either way. Timber is a guaranteed player for the Netherlands. Saliba's guaranteed in France. Gabriel's guaranteed in Brazil. Calafiori's guaranteed in Italy. Hincapie's guaranteed in Ecuador. Zubimendi's guaranteed in Spain. Odegaard's guaranteed in Norway. Rice is guaranteed in England. Saka's guaranteed in England. Havertz is pretty much guaranteed in Germany, you'd imagine. Like, we don't really have many players that are kind of on the cusp. And the ones that are players that don't really start for us anyway. So, yeah, ideally, we want players to just be like, oh, I'm feeling it. I need a break. But our Arsenal players don't tend to do that, though, and that's the annoying thing. J-Bob, thank you very, very much for the $2 super chat. Are the full episodes of Backpost on YouTube? I only see the clips. No. So the way we do it is we normally film the podcast with the first 2 segments of the podcast. We upload them as YouTube videos on Monday and on Tuesday, right? So today's segment will be the Arsenal-Chelsea talk. Tomorrow's segment will be the Spurs talk. The rest of the episode is then audio only. And that is to, give a reward to the people that watch us on audio. And also because, like, the way YouTube works with the algorithm, not to bore you with YouTube algorithm stuff, but if we upload the whole podcast as one thing, but people are only interested in Arsenal-Chelsea, they'll click off 25 minutes into an hour and a half long video, and YouTube goes, people aren't really interested in this other than the first 25 minutes, and so it doesn't perform well. Whereas if you upload a 25-minute video of the Arsenal-Chelsea game, and most people click on it knowing this is the Arsenal-Chelsea talk, they watch the whole thing, it does better. So there's a bit of insight for you into how it works. But yeah. Have you seen the clip of Drogba scoring against us? And the commentator said, same old story. Arsenal play the football, but Chelsea get the goals. Crazy how the narrative have changed. Yes, I did see that. And yes, it is a joke. This is it. We used to be bantered for being the team that played really nice, really pretty football, but we had a soft underbelly and we couldn't get the results when it mattered. And whenever we came up against the big teams, they'd bully us, they'd get the results. And that was why, we couldn't win the major honours. We flipped that on its head. And now everyone's crying about it constantly. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. Give me Havertz back so that he can rock my world against Brighton. I think he'll be on the bench again against Brighton. I think he'll be on the bench against Brighton, the bench against Mansfield, and I think he'll start against Leverkusen. That is what I'm expecting for Havertz. Any chance you guys will create backpost RSS links so that I can listen to the pod outside of Spotify or Apple? I want the full thing, but not available outside of those. Possibly. I don't actually know what that means in terms of an RSS link. We're available on more platforms than just Apple and Spotify. We're available on all good streaming platforms. But I will ask about that, Ian, because I don't know the answer. Save Kai as much as we can for the City game. Yeah, for sure. Rory would have loved proper wins, but it is what it is. Look, those are the sorts of games where you've just got to get through it, get out of there with a result. I mean, I look at... This was the thing that's annoying me today, and it annoyed me again on the podcast. Like, this idea that City were, like, dominant against Leeds, that City kind of rocked up at Leeds, comfortably beat them. They could have been 3-0 down at half-time against Leeds. Even in the second half, Leeds didn't do as much in the second half, but final 5 or 10 minutes, there was a handball shout. Like, it wasn't vintage City. That's the thing that's annoying me. People are making out like it's only Arsenal that are scraping results right now. We've got 9 Premier League games to go. You grind out as many of those wins as you possibly can. And by the way, 9 Premier League games to go. I think 5 of them are at the Emirates, 4 of them away. The only away games we have left, though, are Brighton, City, Fulham, and someone else. But we only leave London twice more in the Premier League. We only leave London to go to Brighton and to go to City. The remaining 7 games are in London. And our record in London is very good. So they're talking about City beating Leeds when we battered Leeds and barely got mentioned. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, West Ham and Palace. Sorry, West Ham and Palace. Yeah, you are correct. West Ham and Palace. Why do we care how City is performing? We're under massive pressure. They also are, but we have more. Why do we care how City are performing? Because we're in a title race against them. Like, that's why we care about it. What's Odegaard's injury? We don't know. Like, apparently it's to do with the injury he got against Brentford still, but, that was, I don't know. It worries me a little bit. There you go. Nid has just put the links for the Back Post podcast in the chat. There you go. I appreciate that, Nid. Thank you very much. And he's given his Odegaard poem as always. Brighton versus Arsenal has draw written all over it. It's a massive game. It's, I would expect Man City to beat Nottingham Forest at home, to be honest with you. Be very surprised if they don't. Arsenal have the more difficult game. After this, I think every other game after this, we've got an easier tie, pretty much. But yeah, it's a big game. It's an important game. Brighton have just hit a bit of form, which is annoying. Brighton had been terrible, right? I think up until 3 games ago, Brighton had 1 win since November. They've now won 3 in a row, which is frustrating. Reckon you could get Ollie CPFC on preview stream for Arsenal Palace games? It's last game of the season. I'm sure I could get Ollie on. I'm sure I could. Odegaard hatred must cease. When healthy, he is the best centre mid in the world. I mean, I would look. Firstly, thank you very, very much for the $2, J Bob. I don't think he's the best centre mid in the world when he's healthy, but he is a very, very valuable player to us when he is healthy. And listen, we are people that say they don't care if he's missing. Like, you talk about controlling games, by the way. We control games much better when Odegaard is on. 100%. You need players. Odegaard operates a little bit like Bernardo Silva in that sense. We need players that are comfortable getting their foot on the ball, taking the pace out of the game, slowing it down. That is one of the reasons that we're struggling, I think, to keep control of games. We play at the same time as City on Wednesday as well. I think we struggle when we play after City play. Yeah, it's a good thing that we play. I think it's a good thing that we play at the same time as them. Just don't need to worry about them whilst we're playing, you know. Don't even need to think about what their score is. Fully fit Odegaard is a top 3 chance creator in the world. I agree with that, Shay. I agree with that. At his absolute best, very few players can create as much as Martin Odegaard can. Under the lights midweek, PL, I know what is going to happen. Yeah, it's difficult. Listen, nighttime kickoff. Oh, we've got a visitor. We've got a visitor. Oh, hello. Hello. Crazy. Say hello. Speaking to the mic. Hello. Hello. No. She just wants dinner, but I don't know why she's kicked off. I don't know if because it's getting lighter. It's getting lighter outside. The evenings are drawing out. She thinks it's dinner time. What happened to Tobes? Really has no ball knowledge. YouTube Music is my usual choice as well. Yeah, YouTube Music, I think you can listen to us on. There you go. That's a good thing. I am just going to let the dog out because she's going crazy. Go on. Yeah, well, out you go. Good job. Do you know Henrik Larsson? I mean, I know of Henrik Larsson. I don't know him personally, but I know of him. By the way, there's nearly 500 of you. Well, there's 460 of you in here. If you could like the stream, if every single one of you in here right now liked the stream, that would probably be our most liked stream ever. So, just saying. Rory, we should sell Zubi. Crazy takes, honestly. Hand of Arsenal's in the chat. Who said we should sell Zubi? No one in my chat, was it? No one in my chat said we should sell Zubimendi, did they? It's good to see you, though, Hand of Arsenal. I hope you're doing well. Listen, if someone in my chat said we should sell Zubimendi, then that's problematic. There's a bar in this place. There's a barrier to entry, an intellectual barrier to entry. And if you think Zubimendi should be sold, you're getting kicked out by the doorman. Everyone now wants injury updates, so everyone wants injury updates from Hand of Arsenal now. There you go. Sell Zubi is a Twitter take. Yeah, it's a crazy take. It's a crazy take. No one's owning up to it in this chat, so I can only assume no one said it here. No one said it here. You know, Sky would make as many games as possible after the break where City play before us each weekend. Yeah, it's annoying. It's annoying. But they can only do it so often. Like, Champions League, we have to play on Wednesdays. That means we get a Sunday game, but we have to play on Tuesdays. It means we get a Saturday game. Like, there's only so much they can do it. They actually also, to be fair, they changed it next weekend to where originally Man City were meant to play against West Ham in the lunchtime kickoff. And we were meant to play on the Sunday, but now we're playing Everton in the 5:30 slot, and they're playing West Ham in the 8 p.m. slot. So that has actually changed now. Why do you keep saying it's a chill day? I don't feel. Am I missing like an inside joke or something? I've seen you spamming. It's a chill day, and I don't know. I don't know if I'm missing something there. Haaland and Nico O'Reilly injury update. I don't know. J-Bob, thank you very, very much for the $2 super chat. Martinelli should start every game going forwards. I don't necessarily agree that Martinelli should start every game going forward. I do think Trossard isn't a guaranteed starter anymore. I would very much be interested still in seeing Eze used on the left more. But yeah, Martinelli, Trossard, it's a toss-up between the two at the moment. Pigeonhead, thank you very, very much for the $2 super chat. Do you know there is an Arsenal jukebox on SoundCloud? I didn't know that. I did not know that. I don't use SoundCloud, to be fair, but thank you. It's all the chance. There you go. Well, thank you for the information. If you want to check out the Arsenal Jukebox on SoundCloud, feel free. Feel free. Has City's game in hand been arranged yet? No, and it could. Everything could get a little bit more. It could get a bit more crazy as well because who tweeted it? Someone tweeted earlier about things that could happen. Basically, fixture pileups. Yeah, so Man City's game with Palace cannot be rearranged basically until both of them are out of the European competitions. Basically, every midweek is taken up now. So until like right at the end of the season. So that's going to have to be figured out. But also, if Arsenal get to the FA Cup semi-final, our home game against Newcastle United will have to be moved because that would be on the same weekend. And if we get to the semi of the Champions League, it means that it's likely that that Newcastle game would have to be rearranged right for the end of the season too. The same also therefore applies to Man City. If Man City reach the FA Cup semi and the Champions League semi, they are going to have 2 Premier League games fit into midweeks right at the end of the season, which means they will probably play both of the final midweeks of the season Premier League games. So yeah, the fixtures are beginning to pile up big time. Is it true that Haaland got injured? I mean, Haaland was injured, but I don't know what the injury was. I don't know what the injury was to Haaland. It didn't sound like it was anything significant. I think Guardiola said he felt something at the end of training, but it was only short term. So, and then Nico O'Reilly's ankle did look like a little bit of a problem injury. So, who knows what that was. Tony, thank you very, very much for becoming a new member of the channel. You'll love to see it. Welcome to the Rory Talks Football membership club. Enjoy the emotes, enjoy the cannon next to your name, and thank you very, very much. Did this happen last season? It happens quite a lot. The fixture schedules are so condensed now that it happens quite a lot. So there you go. Welcome, Tony. Welcome. Havertz and an inform Odegaard are way too important, so underrated. I agree, for sure. What would your team be for the Brighton game? Good question. It would be Raya, if he's fit, Mosquera, Saliba, Gabriel, Calafiori, Norgard. Do you go bold? It all depends on whether or not players like Odegaard are fit. Norgard, Zubamendi, Eze, Saka, Gyökeres, Martinelli. I think we have to rotate a little bit. Norgard in the Prem? No way. Norgard in the Prem. Give my man minutes in the Prem. I think we have to rotate. I know we've got Mansfield at the weekend, so we can rotate there. So maybe... Look, honestly, Arteta will go, if they're fit, Raya, Timber, Saliba, Gabriel, Hincapié, Rice, Zubamendi, Eze. It'll probably be the same team that played against Chelsea if everyone's fit. But I know we've got Mansfield at the weekend, but I still just think like there is an element of fresher players are better. We've got so many good players at our club. Like a fresh Mosquera is better than a knackered Timber, in my opinion. So at right back, I would rather a fresh Mosquera than a knackered Timber. Norgard with Zubi and possibly Saka Cam could work. Possibly. I don't know if we'll see the Saka Cam experiment again. That'll be interesting to see. I wonder if that does ever happen again. Also, Max Dowman may get minutes against Mansfield. He should do, yeah. He should do. He played 45 minutes at the weekend, so that should allow him to come in and play. I do think Norgard would be great sitting deep, allowing 2/8s ahead of him. Yeah. Well, I would play, if possible, I would play Havertz as one of those 8s, but I don't think Havertz is ready to start yet. We have to be so careful with Havertz. We can't bring him back in too quick again. Apart from the own goal, I still believe Hincapié had a great game. Hincapié had a great game. Like, don't get me wrong. The goal is a mistake. If you're winning that header at the front post, you've got to either head it away or leave it. Like, you can't take that risk. But outside of that, no, he had a fantastic game. Why do you think we don't see Ezra off the left anymore? I don't know. We've not seen it enough, in my opinion. Because he'll get more space out there. He will definitely get more space out there. By the way, a random little thing that I saw today. Red Star's talent, Vasily Kostov, dreams of playing in the Premier League, and Arsenal are showing a great interest in him. Inter Milan also want the player. Now, this came from Calcio Mercato. I appreciate I've pivoted here to some random transfer news about a youngster. But yeah, Red Star player Vasily Kostov. Now, I'll tell you what, we'll do a greenery check. We'll have a look. Of course, we'll have a look. Where am I? Let me bring this up. Vasily Kostov. Of course, he's not on here. Kostov. That's how you spell it. 17 years old, turns 18 in May. I mean, versatility. Hello. Cam, right wing, right mid, centre mid, defensive mid. Mental. And man of the match and a goal yesterday for them. Goal and an assist. A couple of games before that. He's 17 and he's basically playing full 90s for them as well, by the way. 104 minutes in the Europa League final. And, hey, green. I see trees of green. Look at that. I mean, that possession's a little bit flaky, but that is green. That is green. Even down here as well. Doing a bit of the defensive side of the game too. Woo! Already played for the Serbian national team at 17. Yeah, so look at that. 2 goals and man of the match on the 14th of February. Looks like a talented player. No idea about it. Right-footed. No idea about anything else about him, to be honest with you. But I just thought it was interesting that the story Calcio Mercato were running was more about the fact that Inter Milan are interested in him. But according to them, Arsenal are very interested. And there were some links to him in January as well for Arsenal. So, yeah, random little bit of transfer news there for you. But could be interesting. We have Dauman, though. Yeah, we do have Dauman. Listen, you can never have enough. You can never have enough. Greed. What can you say about our realization, which is very bad, and how Arteta can solve this? I don't think realization is the word that you're looking for. I don't know which word it is, but that entire sentence hangs on the word realization. And I think that's mistranslated or something from a different word. And I can't really think what that word is. Realization. Anyone got a guess? I hate Saka's right foot crosses into the keeper's hands. Surely cutting it back is more effective. Yeah, to be honest, it's the type of cross, right? Man City are so good at this type of cross. It's where they get to kind of the byline and they stand up the cross, right? It's one of those little chipped crosses that kind of floats towards the back post. Erling Haaland has scored so many of them in the past, but now they're seeing it with Nico O'Reilly, right? Nico O'Reilly starts arriving and it works really, really well. I would love to see us do that more with Declan Rice arriving in the way that Nico O'Reilly has been. I guess realization means finishing games. I assume it's something to do with that, yeah. I assume it's something to do with like control or something. But what are your thoughts on the glimpse that we had of Saka on the left and Madueke on the right? I'd like to see it more, but I'd also like to see Madueke used on the left more. I think Madueke on the left could still work well. So, yeah. I still think our left... The fact that we still don't know who our best option off the left is a little bit concerning, but... I mean that our... Okay, no, so it wasn't what we thought. He means that our XG is very high, but that we score less. Okay, got you. Yeah, it's true. We create a lot of XG and we don't score enough. You know, even yesterday, the chances that we had to score from open play that we didn't take. Like again, we win the ball back, we catch them in transition, and we don't do enough with it. I don't know what the solution. I mean, the solution, in a sense, is quality. At times, like one of the solutions is quality. The other thing is fluidity and freedom to just attack. You know, so you just want to pick up the ball and go. Trossard holding onto the ball for too long annoys me. There's a number of things, but fluidity is the main one, right? We don't move forward with much fluidity anymore. You think back to the days of, 22, 23, Odegaard, Saka, Jesus, Martinelli. We just seemed a lot more fluid back then. We also concede a lot from few XG. Yeah, we do. We do. And it's annoying. Games where we concede very little, we end up conceding goals without conceding many chances at all. I mean, you look at the Wolves game, as much as it annoyed me, you actually look back, we conceded virtually nothing. To concede 2 goals from that game, to concede 3 goals against United, is crazy. Rory, at the World Cup, will you do streams on England? Yeah, there's going to be loads of back post watch-alongs during the World Cup. Loads of back post watch-alongs during the World Cup. We're looking forward to that. It's going to be big. To celebrate 40k subs, you give away 40 tickets away to the Goon Platoon. If I could get my hands... Do you know how difficult I'm finding it to even get 1 ticket at the moment to a game? If I could get 40 tickets, Jesus. I'd be a millionaire the way I could sell them. As much as I hate to say it, Trossard has not been up to it this season. He's very frustrating to watch and it takes too much out of the ball. I think we should try Madueke Ezra off the left. I agree at the moment. We've been disproportionately punished for our mistakes this season. See, this is my thing, right? I agree. But I felt that for the last 3 seasons. For 3 seasons now, I feel like we concede one of the first chances. We don't concede that much in games, but I feel like we've been disproportionately punished enough and consistently enough to the point where I start thinking this isn't just bad luck. This isn't just coincidence. There is a reason for it. I don't know what that reason is, but Ross said 230 likes. What a community Rory has. Let's get to 250. Yeah, if 20 more of you could like the stream, get to 250, that would be absolutely huge. I just realized, because I was rushing back from doing the podcast, I do not have a quiz question in place. I have just realized that. Quiz question. All right, I've got a quiz question. Fingers on your keyboards. First person to get it right in the chat wins the immense pride and respect of the Rory Talks Football community. I've got a question. Fingers on keyboards. The question is this. Who is the only current Barcelona player to have formerly played for Arsenal? Who is the only current Barcelona player to have formerly played for Arsenal? Hector Bellerin is not currently a Barcelona player. Okay, lots of people getting it right. But the first person to get it right was Cheyenne. Congratulations to Cheyenne. You'll love to see it. Mental spelling of it, but that is one of those names where I do not expect you to spell it correctly. If you give an answer that starts with an S and has some Z's in it and ends in Y, I'll give it to you. Nid was second with an even worse spelling, Skengs. Joseph was third with Chesnat. KZX was fourth with Skenzi. And Neki was fifth with the actual correct spelling. So there you go. Congratulations to Cheyenne. You'll love to see it. You'll love to see it. VAR. Goal given by Ross Lawman. There we go. That is the end of the stream. I will be back later, like I said, for the continuation, episode 2 of the old school Arsenal Road to Glory. That'll be about 10:30, something like that. Tomorrow, if there is a preview stream, it will be later. We won't be live at 5 tomorrow. If there is a preview stream, it will be later. It might end up just being a preview video that I make, but there will be some form of preview out either way. And then we'll be live on the Back Post YouTube channel for the watch along of the Arsenal game on Wednesday. But there we go. I appreciate you all for watching. Please do subscribe if you're not subscribed already. Please do like the stream if you haven't done that already. And I'll catch some of you later. The rest of you, I will catch on the next one. Until then, goodbye.